Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jasmine. So yes, I'm back. I'm so sorry for disappearing for so long. I think it's been like 2 or 3 months now since my last video on here. But before you start worrying, I am okay. I haven't died or anything like that. Nothing as serious has happened. It's just been really hard, and for a number of different reasons over lockdown. I just needed a break from YouTube and social media. So I'll explain why in a little bit, but I just first of all wanted to say a massive sorry as well for missing my own collaboration, because I was absolutely devastated when I realised that I missed it. I just planned it so far in advance, and then like I said, took a break from YouTube and completely forgot about it. And then the date passed without me realising, and then I thought, oh no, I hope everyone, isn't angry at me, and that, they were still able to post their videos and make the most out of the collaboration, because all of you guys had each other's information and could share each other's videos still. So hopefully you guys were still able to have fun and make the most of that. I did see quite a few people had posted some content and they tagged me in, and they all looked really good. So I'm yet to go through those and watch all of them, and I'm also going to create a playlist that I can promote on my channel for you guys with all of the videos that were posted by you guys, and support them as much as I can. So yeah, I hope you had fun with that if you took part. I guess this build is unofficially a part of that challenge. This was kind of what I had planned that I was going to do originally when I organised the collab. I was going to do like a farm type house with loads of different gardeny sections, because the collaboration project was called Botanical Build. So the idea was it was going to be spring themed, and the aim was to create builds that were centered around flowers or gardens. So yeah, this build has got a lot of outdoor areas and garden sections, because it is, if you haven't already guessed, a farmhouse. So in the build I include, as you can probably see, a big brick farmhouse and a big barn, which I kind of have filled with hay at the minute, and I also put some milk pails, because I thought if we ever do get farm animals, then that might be a place to put cows, but seeing as we don't at the minute, I didn't want it to look too empty, so I just filled it with some hay objects and some milk pail objects. There's also a set of stables, which I think I'm creating at the minute, and I think they're 3 stalls for the horses, which you can see I just fill with hay and bucket for water. Then I've got like a food room with some hay and then some big bags of oats, and then there's like a little, what would be a tack room, and because we don't have any tack objects in The Sims, I've just filled it with like cats and dogs objects. And then at the end, you might be a bit confused as to what that room is, because it looks like just an empty concrete room with a drain in it. But I thought that it would be like a wash down room, because some people have them in their stables at home, and I watch a couple of YouTubers who do like horse activity videos, and they've got like a wash down room in their stables. So I thought that would be a nice, well, a good way of filling out that room with something. So yeah, that's what that is. Then I also create a chicken coop by putting together individual objects and objects from debug mode as well. So that's just using a couple of cheats to get more objects, in case you didn't know. Yeah, I basically place a load of planks on top of each other to create these individual chicken coops. We obviously don't have chickens in The Sims either, so what I've done is I've just placed a couple of chicken ornaments in there, which looks a bit cringe, but it's the best that I could do, so I'm sorry about that. But I was quite pleased with how the coop turned out. It's no CC as well. There's no CC in this entire build, so you don't need to worry about that. But I do use quite a few packs. I don't know how many packs I use, but yeah, you might just want to be wary. So I hope that's not too much of a problem for you guys. And as well as the chickens, I made a pig pen as well. So you can see that I make a pigsty out of a roof, and I just turn it into like a curved roof and use the corrugated iron roof texture to make it look like what a pigsty looks in the UK. I don't know if it's like that everywhere in the world, but we tend to get a lot of them that look like this. So yeah, that's what I was going for. I also, you'll see I added a tyre in the pig pen, and you might be thinking, why why has she put a tire in with the pigs? But that is because I follow a YouTuber who has a pig on her farm, and she does like farm vlogs and stuff like that, and she actually feeds the pigs using tires, and she kind of puts the, you know, chopped up carrots or whatever in the bottom of the tires, so the pigs kind of have to like sniff around and dig for them, and it just provides a little bit of enrichment for them, you know, makes them work a little bit harder for their food. And seeing as we don't have any trough items or, you know, obvious food buckets or something like that for animals like pigs or cows or sheep, I thought that just might be a nice idea, because that's obviously what some people use in real life, so why not use it in The Sims? So yeah, if you were wondering why there's a tire in the pig pen, that's why. And then next to the pigs there's also an orchard. They're just loads of apple trees that I downloaded from the gallery, and I got to use that object that came with the new kitchen kit. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a country kitchen set of objects, and it's got this bucket filled with different types of fruit, and one of them's apples, and I thought that whole pack was just absolutely adorable. I love it. It's like the perfect kitchen pack for me. I've been wanting a kitchen counter style like that for absolutely ages, because it's got the most beautiful wooden top, and I feel like, yeah, I'm pretty sure we only have one other wooden top counter in The Sims, and it's really, really contemporary and industrial looking, and, you know, does not suit the kind of kitchens that I like at all. So I'm really happy with that, and I've been wanting to use it, and I haven't made a video since that kit came out, so I was really excited to do something with that pack. So yeah, I used that specific object in the orchard, and then I create the other side of the farm. I create just a generic sort of crop field, and I put loads of veggies in rows that I've downloaded from the gallery as well, and then I create a pumpkin patch as well. So just in the corner of the build is a load of pumpkins, which I thought was quite cute. So as well as those farm sections of the build, there's also a couple of different gardens for the people who live in the house. Obviously there's a greenhouse for, I kind of figured that that would be for like flowers, for growing flowers in, because I put the floral arrangement object, and there's loads of empty planters. I didn't download any plants from the gallery. I could have done, and I probably should have done, I just forgot, I guess. But yeah, that was, I had in mind for like flower arranging. And then there is a garage for cars, even though we don't have cars. I've just used a couple of debug objects in the driveway, and then there's bees and a well as well, and some like kids play activities in the garden, so I thought that was cute. I did build this house in mind for a family with kids, so in terms of the bedrooms, I've created one teen room and like one room for 2 toddlers using the Eco Lifestyle toddler beds, because they're so cute. I absolutely love those beds. And then there's a master bed obviously, and then the 4th bedroom is like an office space. So there's room for 4 bedrooms, but only 3 of them I use as bedrooms. So yeah, I hope you like it. That's pretty much the build summed up. So I guess I should probably explain myself, where I've been. I'm really sorry that I kind of dropped off the face of the earth without warning, but I just had no energy for social media and, you know, to do the professional thing and, you know, tell you guys, because I had no idea when I would next make a video or when I would next be up to interacting on social media. Also, my phone died around the same time, and in order for it to start working again, I had to delete a load of apps, which meant that I stopped getting notifications as well. So that is a factor, although that's not an excuse, because I kind of was being rubbish already by then. But yeah, I don't know, I was just getting to the stage where I was putting a lot of pressure on myself to create content, and not just to create content, but to market content and to interact on social media and to watch other people's videos and to comment on every single video that I watched. And all of that was building up, and it was sort of dominating my entire life. Because of lockdown, because I had nothing else to do, I was just like obsessing over that, and that was kind of stopping me from doing anything else at the same time. And I sort of reached a point where I was exhausted by it all, and I just was getting sick of it. I just wasn't enjoying it anymore, and I was making myself unhappy. I also wasn't going outdoors at all, and I wasn't doing any exercise, and that was partly to do with lockdown, but it was also partly to do with YouTube. And bearing in mind that I am very much an outdoorsy exercise enthusiast, it's just, I don't know, it's been a really tough time for me to to keep that mental motivation going without exercise is really hard. Like, I use the gym in the morning as a way of getting myself up and motivated for the day, and without that over lockdown has just been really, really tough just to get out of bed in the morning. And I was kind of using YouTube as a way to motivate myself for a long time, but yeah, it started having the opposite effect after a while, because it gets a bit monotonous, and it started turning into work for me. And before lockdown, before I started my YouTube channel, I always said that the reason that I hadn't created a YouTube channel before was because I didn't want it to become like work. I knew the amount of effort that it would take to have a successful YouTube channel, and I didn't want that in my life because I had so many other projects and hobbies that I enjoy, and I didn't care as much about The Sims or about YouTube consistently. Like, it's something that I come back to in phases. Like, I binge The Sims and I binge Planet Zoo, and then I have a break from playing it, and then I feel rested and refreshed and I come back to it. So for me to like have a YouTube channel and consistently upload and consistently create content was wearing me down for that reason, because I never usually am that consistent with playing The Sims. So that was a big reason. Another big reason that I stopped was because I was getting a little bit distracted from work. Like, I wasn't, logging in to The Sims and playing The Sims instead of doing my work. It wasn't that bad. I had some self-control. But I was just checking my phone all the time, and when I wasn't on YouTube or social media, I was thinking about it, and it was always on my brain, and I was just obsessed, and so I couldn't switch off and go into work mode as easily. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like affecting my output at all. It was just affecting my motivation to do well at work. And I also recently applied for a new job, or applied for a promotion, and so I think I'd already had a break for about maybe a couple of weeks by that point, and so that's why I also didn't come back to it after that, because I was just in application mode, and I was doing interview prep and application prep, and I wasn't gonna think about YouTube at that point. I was pretty determined that I was gonna try and do well in this job application, which I did, and I was successful. So I have actually received a promotion recently, so yay for that. And I guess that's part of the reason why I wanted to come back, was to celebrate, and because that energized me. I think that gave me a lot of motivation to do well at work, and I think I needed a break just because I'm the kind of person that doesn't do things by halves. Like, I'm either 100% in or I'm 100% out. So it's really, really hard for me to do something like YouTube and keep it as a hobby and not to take it too seriously and not to try and be really, really successful with it, because it's just in my nature to try and achieve as much as I can at a particular thing or hobby. So yeah, I think I needed to stop and remove all of the pressure that came with creating content, and now I feel like, okay, it doesn't matter if I don't upload every week, or however many times I was uploading before. I can just upload when it makes me happy, when I feel inspired, and there's no pressure, because I know that pressure wasn't coming from you, it's coming from me, but I was getting stressed by it anyway. It's so silly, because like, who cares if you upload every week? It's just like these goals that I'd set myself in my head that I felt I had to stick to, because otherwise I wasn't going to do as well. But yes, I'm feeling inspired now, and I'm excited to get back into it. I've also missed, like I said, I missed the kits coming out in The Sims 4, and I'm totally out of the loop with Sims 4 news, but I also missed a Planet 2 DLC. So if you don't already know, I create Planet Zoo content on my channel too, and whilst I was away, I think it was the Southeast Asian pack came out, so they've got sun bears, clouded leopards, things like that, and that looks really good too. So I'm really, really excited to get back into building in Planet Zoo. I just have a couple of sandbox mode zoos on the go at the minute. I don't have any franchise mode zoos or anything like like that. And I think what I really want to do is just create maybe 1 or 2 individual habitat builds using that new pack, and then return to the sandbox Mizz that I was creating. I think part of the reason why I needed a break as well is because I was getting a little bit intimidated by those sandbox Mizz that I'd created, and I was a bit nervous about actually returning to them, and I didn't have much inspiration for one of them. I think I was more excited for the new one that I'd created, but still the Canadian park that I'd created, I have no idea what I was going to do next for that, because it's a bit of a beast, that one, so I was a bit nervous. But I'm really excited. I think I'm gonna do a clouded leopard enclosure next, so stay tuned for that if you like Planet Zoo content. But yeah, I've also had a couple of lovely comments on my animal rescue LP videos saying, oh, when are you coming back? When are you gonna record another episode of this? And I promise I will return to that series. It might not be as regular. It might take a little bit longer for me to record each episode, because it does take a long time. Like, all of my videos take a long time to create content, and then it's a lot of editing. And like I say, I have a full-time job as well, and I've got several hobbies that I like to do. So yeah, it's a lot to balance. I don't want my life to just turn into me being on the computer all day every day, because my job is on the computer, so I get fatigued being on the screen all day, and I need that break and that exercise as well. So yes, might not be as regular, but I will return to the animal rescue Let's Play. I'm really excited to carry on that story, because that's something that I've been wanting to do for absolutely ages, and I've put a lot of effort into writing that story and planning it out, so I want to see it completed. So I promise I will do that. It just might take a little bit longer than once thought. But yeah, also I forgot to ask, but how are you all? How have you been in my absence? What have you been up to, and what's it like in terms of lockdown where you are? Because in the UK we had a 3-month-long lockdown, or possibly longer, from Christmas onwards, and I think that was where I was getting a lot of my frustrations, was because I was just sick of being in complete lockdown. Like, I couldn't see anyone, and that was getting to me, and that was because that was such a long lockdown that by the end of that I just needed a break. That was probably a massive factor too. But yeah, how are you wherever you are in the world? Is it looking good? Because in the UK we've got, you know, people are having vaccinations, and it's looking like things will eventually return to normal, hopefully soon. So that is making me a lot more positive, but I hope it's okay wherever you are. I've also had a little bit of sad news myself recently. My dear little hamster Boyka, I've mentioned him a couple of times on the channel. I thought he had an injured paw, so I took him to the vet, and they gave me some antibiotics in case that is what it is, because it looked like his paw was a little bit swollen and it looked sore, but they thought it actually might be a tumour, because tumours are really common in hamsters. And I've had a hamster that had a tumour before, and she sadly had to be put to sleep, which is, you know, was really devastating. I know, like, some people don't get it. They're like, how can you possibly be that attached to a little hamster? They don't live that long anyway. But this little guy, Boyka, is super, super special to me, mainly because my boyfriend got him for me on Valentine's Day, and we sort of share ownership of him, and he's like our little child. So he's really, really special to me for that reason. But also, I've had, like I say, a hamster before, but this little guy is so social. He's so friendly, so good natured, that I will just miss him so much if he does go. He's 1.5 years old now, so he's not that old. I mean, he's probably about middle-aged. He probably should have at least half or a full year left in him, but I don't know, we'll see. I'll keep you posted, but he doesn't seem to be in pain or anything like that. My other hamster was very much in pain and very much needed, you know, to be put to sleep. There was a thing that could be done, but he is running around as if nothing's the matter. He doesn't seem bothered by it at all. But I don't know, you know, you never know what the vet's going to say. So in a week's time I'll have more information, but hopefully he'll be okay and he'll pull through. It might just be benign, so he'll be able to just go on and live life with it, but maybe not. I've been a little bit upset because of that recently, not gonna lie. But yes, hopefully he will be okay okay, poor little guy. He's so sweet. He's just been the best little hamster. I know I've mentioned it a lot on my channel, but I am obsessed with animals, which is partly why I'm creating a farm build on my channel as we speak. But yeah, I would have rabbits and dogs and cats and horses if I could, but I sadly can't where I'm living at the minute, so all I can have is a tiny little hamster. So he's just been my one channel for my need for animals. So yeah, he's very important to me. Oh, and in other news, I've actually started having riding lessons. I mentioned in several videos ago that I was trying to book riding lessons for ages, and because of lockdown and because of some of the local ones weren't actually offering beginner lessons because they were mostly booked up with regulars, so they weren't offering any more lessons to anyone else. But I managed to find somewhere slightly more further afield. It takes me like an hour to get there, but they had a place for me, and I've been having a lesson every single week with them, and it's really fun. I'm really enjoying it. So just today actually I had a lesson with a horse called Checkers, and I did some groundwork. We were just trotting, you know, different patterns in the arena, and I then did a little bit of cantering as well. So I'm very new to cantering. I've never cantered before. I used to horse ride as a kid. I was pretty comfortable on a horse, although I never had a horse myself, and I didn't spend that much time riding. I was only riding other people's horses, so I only got up to trotting. But yeah, so this was my first time cantering, and yeah, it's really fun. I'm having so much fun, and I'm so glad that I started it. So I'll keep you posted on my horse riding journey because I'm super excited for that. But we're coming up to the end of the video now, so I should probably head off and say again another big sorry to you guys, and a big thank you if you came back after all this time to watch this video and support me. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry for leaving you all so suddenly, but I'm excited to get back into it and to have some fun in The Sims again, because yeah, I've definitely missed it. So thank you all. I hope you liked the build. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe. Let me know what you think down below. Let me know how you're doing, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.